Hi, hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about IELTS speaking module, right? Before going into the IELTS speaking module, first of all, you should know how many parts are there. There are actually three parts. Number one is self introduction, number two is cue card selection, number three is abstract discussion. So, what will we do first? The self introduction will have some basic questions about you. What is your qualification? What's your name? What is your what is your job? And why are you looking for job? Some basic questions. And then selecting a cue card, the tutor or the examiner will give you some cue cards out of which you have to select one card, and there will be topics on it. You may have to discuss about it. And after that, we'll have a general discussion on the cue card. These are the three parts. So let's move on to the slides one by one. So it is actually, the speaking examination is actually common for both IELTS general and academic. And the timing for the speaking exam is about 14 to 15 minutes. So it is split into three parts. Number one is all about self-introduction or set of cue cards. All right. Okay. So the examiner may ask you to just introduce about yourself, or he may have some questions for which you may have to answer. What are the things to be kept in mind before answering those questions? First point is that don't talk about your personal details such as your full family details. What is your father doing? What is your brother and sisters and so is doing is not necessary. You may start with an introduction telling your name, okay, and where are you from, and then you may talk about your academic background, all right, and what are the reasons behind relocating or appearing for IELTS examination. So when you talk about your educational qualifications, you talk about your school, college, and the hobbies as well. Okay. And it is very important that you don't give any too many details on your religion or about your financial status. It is not necessary. And whenever some question is asked, keep in mind that you stick to what has been asked to you. So, what would you like to have for dinner? I'd like to have for dinner. Don't say, I like to have for dinner. Right? Because the question is, what would you like to? So, it's not an yes or no question. Yes, I like to, or I don't like to. Right? So, you may have to answer it properly. And don't ever use simply yes or no. It's always better to answer full. And try to answer from the question and to the question. What is your educational qualification? My educational qualification is, that's the answer to the question, or it is, the answer is taken from the question. And follow the grammar of the question. When did you think of doing IELTS? Okay, I had the thought of doing IELTS, or I thought of doing IELTS when I was doing my final year of my course. I think you don't have to answer, I think of doing, because the question is, when did you think of doing IELTS examination? So the question is in simple past, so you are answering in the simple past. And prepare yourself for introduction. Do not memorize. So memorizing will not be giving you too much of marks as well. So we are moving on to the next slide. Okay, let's all have an idea how to prepare for self-introduction. So what are the points can be added in your self-introduction? Your name, where are you from, and about your family. What is your recent qualification or recent educational qualification, recent job? How did you get the job? Why are you writing IELTS or appearing for IELTS, and your hobbies? This is enough. This is enough. For example, I'm Satish Kumar from Chennai, India. I live in a small family. I am an MPhil graduate. I'm presently working as an English teacher. I got this job through one of the job websites. I would like to appear for IELTS examination because I have an idea of relocating to some English speaking countries. If they ask why, you can answer why. My hobbies are playing cricket, watching TV channels, and watching some games in TV. That's it. So this is precise. You are not confusing too much. Right. Then sometimes there may be change of pattern. Okay, their student has to answer the questions that the examiners will ask. This doesn't happen. If they ask, you may have to answer. Instead of self-introduction, they may ask you, what is your job? Where do you work? What are the responsibilities you hold in your job? What and where did you study? Did you like the subject you that study? Are you working on the same domain, which is your hometown, oldest place in your hometown? How could how could your hometown be improved? What and why? What do you like about your hometown? What is your house or where is your house? So these things can be simply answered, not memorized. Your next slide is, all right, website that you regularly use. And this is all about some of the cue cards where you will have to actually answer some of the questions. There will be some questions, so you may have to answer. So, website that you regularly use, when and where, when and then you use, why do you use the website, what is famous about the website, what are the details it gives. So, what is a memorable reader? Memorable reader is a favorite book you read, and a memorable trip you have made. Your best friend. When there are some questions on your best friend, okay, how to speak about your best friend, you can just tell what is your best friend's name, where is he, what is he doing, what is his character, what is his strength, weaknesses, or what is his educational qualification. Everything about him you may talk. It may be for 2 to 3 minutes. And invention that changed people's lives, it can be anything, mobile phone or wheels, anything could be. You may also be getting some questions related to describe a piece of furniture in your house, great achievement in your life, about your hobby, ban smoking in public places, talk about your country, book or books that you have read recently. So you may have to give details. What is the name? What you may have to keep something in your mind. 5 W's and one H. When, where, why, who, what, how. All these could be given. So we are moving on to the next slide. This is called a long run. Here it could be like the same. Okay. The topics can be about the native place, favorite personality, favorite profession, favorite food or restaurant, historical places you visited, garden you visited, the favorite reader, any of these. And the part two is all about abstract discussion. Okay, this is that's what I told you, part three. But this is the part two in the examination because self-introduction is not considered too much, right? So abstract or general discussion on part two, they where the examiner may be asking you some questions on it. How well are you speaking? So he or she will be checking all these things. That's it about the IELTS speaking examination. What kind of the preparation do you have to do? It's better to go watch some demos, demo speakings which are available in YouTube or you can just go ahead with some of your own preparations, or IELTS speaking partners are available. They can give you a lot of ideas. If not, you can just get to go to a trainer who can train you about all these things. That's it. All the best for your IELTS English speaking examination. So it's all in your hand. The more you speak, the more you get your marks, but not the more mistakes or errors you commit will give you marks. So it is important to speak with nominal fluency. So fluency is very important, and your communication level is very, very important. Thank you very much. All the best for your speaking examination.